Hey everybody, welcome to Picture This. I'm your host, John Pitcher. Today we're on the range with the Kriss Vector 9mm. This is the black camo version. I did a video a few months ago unboxing this when I first got it. Finally gotten some time to run some ammo through it and make a little video of my likes and dislikes. We're also going to compare it to the Ruger PC9. Some of the features on that, price, whatnot, accuracy. So we'll run down to another bay on this shooting range and perform a few tests, an accuracy test, and we'll also run a few different types of ammunition through the gun. That being said, I've already ran probably 500 to 800 rounds through this. Cleaned it once, just give it a quick wipe. But we'll run 5 different types of ammunition through it today, see if it handles different weights and hollow points along with full metal jacket. So stay tuned. And we'll pack up our stuff, move to another bay, and see how things go. So we've got 5 different types of ammo we'll run through the gun. The gun is dirty, hasn't been cleaned since the last time I was at the range, so we'll see what it really runs like. Starting with Remington, it's a hollow point, 115 grain. That's the only hollow points that I could find available. It's hard getting 9mm ammo nowadays, as you would know. White box Winchester, 115 grain. Browning, 115 grain. These are target or range ammo. Oddly enough, the Browning has Winchester marked on it, so I'm pretty sure it's made by Winchester. Just they charge more for it because there's a Browning Browning on the package. So this is 124 grain, full metal jacket, Federal, American Eagle. We'll try that. And last but not least, we've got Winchester 147 grain, full metal jacket as well. Again, like I said, I don't have any 147 grain hollow points. Just couldn't find any at the store. So I'll run a magazine of each of these through, 10 rounds. And we'll just see what it runs like. I don't anticipate any stoppages. So I'll just get my ears on here. We'll start with the Remington. These are hollow points. That's 10 rounds, no issues. And this is the Winchester white box. Rounds, no issues. This is the Browning. No issues with that. This is American Eagle or Federal. No issues with that. And this is the 147 grain Winchester. No issues with that. So there you have it, 5 different types of ammo. And no issues with any of it. I'll go for dot number 4. All right, let's go have a look at that. Group's a little left, so it obviously needs to come right. So this is a 50-meter group. Again, I'm not the best precise shooter in the world. That's a 3-shot group from the Ruger. Pretty much the same, really. I should have shot more. Maybe what I'll do is go back and I'll shoot another group from the Ruger, see what it performs like on dot number 5. All right, let's try a 10-round grouping with the Ruger. And we're going on dot number 5. All right, let's go have a look. So those groups look relatively the same. When I had the Ruger PC9, I was quite happy with the accuracy of it, actually. So for a 9mm at 50 meters, I'm quite happy with that. So I think the accuracy is comparable between the two. Okay, we're all done shooting for the day. Let's start with what I like about the Kriss Vector. Pretty clearly the design, it's very unique. It's not like something you'll see any other manufacturers with. So along with that design comes very comfortable shooting. The pistol grip, where the safety is located, very, very nice. Feels great in the hands. Ambidextrous safety is something else I really like. It's a little bit plasticky, but again, positioned well. Reminds me of the Colt C8 that I'm quite familiar with, or an AR-15 platform. Mil-spec buffer tube on the back, that's also a plus. 6 positions. This one is a Kriss Vector, made by Kriss Vector, but you can swap that out for any other buttstock that you want that would happen to fit the mil-spec buffer tube. Picatinny rail right along the top. Runs the full length of the gun. You can mount whatever you want on it. It comes with iron sights, flip-up iron sights, and the rear iron sight has 2 apertures on it. You can flip those down out of the way if you want to use just your optic. Actually, with them in the up position, you can use your iron sights and look right through this Holosun 510C. Works well, but they're a little bit intrusive when they're up when you're using the optic, so I put them down out of the way. Ammunition wise, this carbine will use anything. Haven't had any issues with stoppages whatsoever. I cleaned it once after about 250, 300 rounds. Just did a quick cleaning, and then we ran probably another 300-400 rounds through it with no issues whatsoever. Uses Glock magazines. Obviously here in Canada you can only max out at 10 rounds, but they're, and it had to be a Glock 17, of course. Glock 19 mags won't fit. You have to be at least the Glock 17 length or longer. No issues with the magazines whatsoever. I haven't had a chance to use Magpul magazines. I assume they'll work well, but the magazines that we have were belonging to our Glocks, and they work perfectly fine. One thing about the charge handle, it cycles and goes out of the way very nicely. It also allows, when you pinch check, you can actually pinch check just by simply pulling that charge handle back and to a right angle, and it moves the bolt back just slightly enough so you can see that there's a round in there. It's pretty intuitive, actually. The charge handle, it folds out of the way. It doesn't reciprocate along with the bolt. It stays in one place. The gun itself shoots really flat, no issues whatsoever. The way the bolt cycles back down into the gun, they claim that it reduces the recoil. I don't really find the recoil is reduced much. It's quite sharp, but the gun does return on target pretty easily. All that being said, it shoots much like the Glock, or sorry, the Ruger. It shoots much like the Ruger. Let's go over some of the things I don't like about the gun. For starters, the gun is heavy. It weighs 10 pounds as what you see right here with the optic, no magazine in the gun. Just, I think, 1 or 2 ounces underneath 10 pounds. So with the mag in it, or if you go with an extended mags, if you happen to be our friends south of the border, it's going to get quite heavy. If you put light on the front, you're going to be probably up into the 11, 12 pound range. The next elephant in the room would be the cost. This gun in Canada runs $2,500. In the US, I'm not sure the exact price, but in Canada, that's $2,500. That's for the Camo version that you see what I'm holding here. The regular black or flat dark earth models run about $2,200. So that's quite expensive considering the fact that you can get a Ruger, either one of the versions, for around $1,000. I think the one with the pistol grip on it is $1,200, and I think that's the most expensive Ruger that you can get. So the Ruger is running about half the price. One of the other things I don't like about it is you can't see the bolt. So when you're running the gun and you want to look at the bolt, I can't see it from this shooting position right here. So I actually had to bring it into my workspace here, look down into that bezel and see the bolt. It's hard to see. Mag release, I would have liked it if they had it on the right side of the gun, much like an AR-15. The mag release is on the opposite side, which is okay if you're running the gun with your support hand. I'm right-handed, of course, so my support hand is left, but if you want to eject the magazine on the left side of the gun, that's fine. If you're running in the gun without a vertical grip on the front and your hand is back here, you do have a habit of hitting that magazine release or the bolt catch. The trigger itself is a little bit spongy. It doesn't have a really sharp trigger. We put it on the trigger gauge earlier and it breaks around 6 pounds, and the Ruger breaks at around 5 pounds. I find the Ruger is a little more crisp. It's not as far throw forward. You can probably see in maybe some of the videos or the video clips there where I'm actually shooting the gun. I'm not quite used to the way the trigger resets, so it looks like I'm actually slapping the trigger. So it is just a little slack. I'm not used to that trigger at all. That being said, it still shoots quite fast, quite good, but I have used guns with better triggers. Barrel sight relationship. Where the barrel is on this Kriss Vector obviously is quite low. A normal barrel would probably be about here, not too far underneath the Picatinny rail. The barrel sits quite low. That's part of the recoil reduction that they talk about. So the actual barrel and sight relationship is probably about 4 inches. I'll measure it and put a little snapshot in there and see if I'm close in my estimation of 4 inches. The other thing that I don't like is the charge handle will bind. If you charge the bolt and don't keep your hand tight to the gun like this, then the bolt will bind. So what I mean is if you have your charge handle or your hand on the charge handle out at the end, the bolt will bind. It torques the bolt to the side, so you just need to remember to keep your charge handle or your hand on the charge handle really tight to the actual frame of the gun. That being said, when you do charge the handle, if you want to lock the bolt open, it works quite nicely because you pull the bolt rearward and you can actually push that bolt catch open or hold the bolt open with one hand very easily. The last thing that I don't like about the gun is the sling mounts. It comes with a couple right on the buttstock, and that's it. So you'll have to add more on the Picatinny rail. I've added a Magpul one here on the bottom. I'm not real pleased with the positioning of it yet. I haven't run the gun enough to know where I would like the sling to sit. But it would have been nice to have some sling mounts, same as these cups on the buttstock, probably on the side of the gun. You'd think you'd get that for a gun that costs $2,500. Overall, very pleased with the gun. It will stay in my collection. I don't plan to sell it anytime soon. If you have any questions about it, anything I didn't answer in my likes and dislikes, please put it in the comments below. Share the video, like the video please if you like this gun, or if you don't like the gun, please like the video down below. If the video was helpful to you at all, thanks so much for turning in. Turning in? Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.